Okay, what if you could build a fully functional application? Not with lines of code, not by clicking through endless menus, but just by describing what you want it to do. Today, we're going to dive into a new approach that promises to turn your ideas into live apps faster than ever before. Let's see how this thing actually works. This quote just hits home for anyone who's ever tried to build something new. That initial spark of a great idea, so often it just gets completely buried under the weight of configuration, boilerplate code, and all that environment setup before you even write the first line of your actual idea. It just kills all your momentum. And let's be real, that friction is a creativity killer. Seriously, think about it for a second. How many of your own brilliant concepts have you jotted down only to just leave them there because the thought of all that initial setup felt completely exhausting? Well, that is the exact problem we're going to tackle today. So what's the alternative? Well, it's a complete shift in thinking. Instead of building the structure first and then trying to fit your idea into it, you start with your pure intent. You use a simple conversation as the blueprint, the actual specification for the whole application. So when you start, you're not looking at some complex dashboard or project setup wizard. Nope, it's just a single input field. You describe what you want in plain English. Something like, I want an AI agent that keeps track of people I meet at work and helps me follow up with them automatically. That's it. That one sentence is basically your first commit and your deployment script, all rolled into one. And right from that one sentence, an AI assistant, her name is Violet, starts a conversation with you. She asks these really smart, clarifying questions about the agent's behavior, its audience, its timing, how soon after meeting someone should I follow up, what tone should the email have, should it be formal or casual, who should actually get these follow-ups. You just answer her, right there in natural language. And this back and forth, that is what builds the application's logic. You're not configuring anything, you're just having a conversation. And this slide, this is where you can really see the fundamental shift. Traditionally, right, you do all the setup, you define the structure, and then you finally get to implement your actual idea, your intent. Here, it is completely flipped on its head. You state your intent first, and the structure just appears as a direct result. This isn't just some minor tweak, it's a total inversion of how we normally build things. Okay, so you've had this conversation, you've described your agent, what do you actually get? Well, this isn't just a mock-up or some diagram. The system generates a complete, functional back-end and front-end for you, automatically, the whole shebang. The whole process is just incredibly simple. You describe your agent, you answer those clarifying questions from Violet, and then you can immediately start interacting with a live version of your app. You go from a simple sentence to a fully interactive application in like a matter of minutes. And this right here, this table, really shows the power of it all. Just think about what it would take to build that follow-up agent normally. You'd have to design a database schema for contacts, set up a daily cron job to handle the follow-ups, build out a landing page, create a user settings page. I mean, that's half a day of setup easy. Here, all of it is just inferred from your conversation and generated for you, with literally zero manual design effort. So what about tweaking the agent's behavior later on? Well, forget about digging through complex config files or nested menus. Settings like the follow-up timing or the tone of the email, they're just simple, editable text fields. This makes making adjustments incredibly fast and super accessible, even for people who aren't developers. Now, for those of us who need to see what's going on under the hood, this part is absolutely crucial. There's a manual view. This gives you full visibility into the databases, the schedules, the event triggers that the system figured out and created for you. You get to verify everything without writing a single line of code to create it. So you get the magic of automation, but also the trust that comes with complete transparency. But, this system isn't just for building quick prototypes and personal tools. It's really designed from the ground up to take your agent from a simple idea all the way to a commercially viable product. So let's see how this platform actually helps you turn your project into a real business. It comes packed with features that are essential for pretty much any real-world application. You get an auto-generated public website with a sign-up flow, easy tool integrations, built-in subscription and pricing models, plus team management capabilities. And integrating with the tools you already use every day is just ridiculously simple. Does your agent need to send emails or check a calendar? You're not wrestling with APIs or complicated OAuth flows. You just connect your Gmail or calendar account directly within the environment, and the agent can start using them. It's really that straightforward. So, how do you get your first users? Well, it takes exactly one click. One. That single click generates a public-facing website for your agent, complete with a description and a sign-up flow. Your idea is instantly out there, in the world, ready to be shared and to get its first beta testers. So when you put all of this together, what you're really seeing is a fundamental reimagining of the entire development lifecycle. It's a move from building with blocks to building with pure intent. This quote really is the core philosophy. It's a shift away from the tyranny of technical setup and toward pure creative expression. You get to focus entirely on the what and the why of your idea, and you let the system handle the how. And this brings us right back to where we started. By completely removing that heavy initial friction, this workflow makes experimentation incredibly fast and cheap. You know those ideas that once felt too daunting to even begin? The ones still sitting in your notebook? Well, suddenly they are finally within reach. So the question is no longer, how much setup is this going to take? But instead, it's, what should I build next? It really leaves you wondering, with the barrier to entry this low, what's the first idea you would finally bring to life?